What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 7 of my EHM Early Access Let's Play here with the Leafs. And, well, I don't really know what to say has happened, boys. Look at that table. Look at the league. We're in third. Still don't really know how, if I'm honest. I mean, I've scored 164 goals in 41 games, which is by far and away the highest. And when you include the fact we've played less games than the next highest, which is the Lightning. I'm a little bit perplexed because our penalty, you can see our penalty kill percentage is okay, but our power play percentage is awful. So yeah, as you can probably guess, things have been going quite well recently. Our last 10 games, which it's been around 10 since the last episode, 8 wins, 2 defeats, no defeats after overtime. We've still not won a game after overtime either, but yeah, I don't really know what to say has happened. It's been bizarre. I don't know if it's the game's too easy. I don't know if it's the case that I've just gone for such a tactic which is so attacking. I guess before getting to the schedule, because I've kind of started with the league and done this in a weird order, I'm going to show you my tactics. If you're someone who plays EHM, I don't understand. I feel like I've shown these before, but yes, we're playing on offensive with high tempo, high passing and barrage shooting, but it's just kind of working. I mean, yeah, I can only assume it's the barrage shooting, which is just a bit too good at the moment in the game, but I can't really complain, can I? Looking at our team, still performing really, really well. Really delighted with how the team has been getting on. Of course, we have had a few injuries, but we've done well despite them. If we just look at them, you can see Horton is almost back. In fact, he is back now. We can actually remove him from injury reserve. I know a lot of you guys have told me that in real life, he's weighing up the option of having some kind of spinal operation, which means he might never play again. I think it's some kind of fusion thing, because he has a back issue, as a lot of players do. But for us, he's actually back, which is kind of nice. So we have him. But you can see elsewhere, Bozak's been injured. He's actually been out for, I think, around 10 days, but we've coped without him, which is kind of nice. Elsewhere, you can see Eriksson, who I think he was injured last time, but sorry, last episode, and I didn't mention it, but he actually fractured his shin and was out for 2 to 3 months. As you can see, he was injured in our game against the Sabres. But anyway, speaking of our games, let's look at them. So we are now in January. It's January the 7th. We've now played, as you can see, 41 games. So this is kind of marking the halfway point, I guess. And today we're actually going to be taking on the Capitals. And if we look at them just here, you can see that they are in 4th. So they're not going to be an easy team for us to play. They actually play in the Metropolitan division that you can see here. They're second in their division, but they are one of the big teams in our conference who are not going to make things easy for us. I'm hoping we can get a decent result against them today. Last time we met them was a big win for us, so maybe more of that maybe. If we look at it, it was here, 7-4 we beat them. So kind of the pattern of this year, a high scoring win for us. So anyway, moving on since last episode, which was another high scoring win. That one was 7-2 against the Red Wings. Things have continued to go well. First game was against the LA Kings. As you can see here, we won 3-1. Good performance all in all. Slow start, not a high scoring classic, but a win nevertheless. We then got our highest scoring game of the season so far in the NHL, and that was a 9-3 win against the Ducks at home. A weird game this one. We were actually 4-0 up in the first, which was a bit mad, and we got off to the dream start as well, which was nice. Also good to see Nylander on the score sheet. He's developing nicely, so more of that I'm hoping for. I think his speed might have increased by 1. Maybe I'm imagining things, but I did manage to sort out the training issue I had with sorting out training for position. I'm still kind of getting to grips with training, and some guys left some feedback on the last episode, which I still need to implement, which is adjusting the actual schedules of some of the training things themselves. But we are now training Nylander to actually play out on the right hand side. So he'll be able to play centre and hopefully out wide on the right, which will be useful for us. Anyway, despite that win against the Ducks, we had one of 2 defeats since the last episode. This one came against the Hurricanes. As you can see here, it was a 5-4 defeat. Kadri getting on the score sheet, panic, Holland for us. Holland's been a weird one. He's got a little bit of potential perhaps as a third line player, but if we look at him here, you can see he's played 35 games for us this year and he's been okay. He's not been fantastic on our 4th line, but he got a good goal here, and it's one that kind of saw us potentially make a comeback. This game, you know, going into the 3rd, we were 4-2 down we needed a dream comeback, and it looked like it was going to be on Kadri and Riemsdyk getting on the score sheet, but unfortunately for us, Rask, with a fairly late goal for them, got them the win. The next result was against the Flyers. We kept the equivalent of a clean sheet. I'm still getting used to the hockey kind of lingo. A lot of you guys have been really useful leaving me kind of, I guess, sayings and phrasings. I kind of feel like when I'm doing live comms and stuff, I'm fully aware that I'm probably doing the equivalent if I was to watch an MLS game of football and listen to them. Some of the terminology is just different. It's bizarre. I guess my terminology is just made up for the most part, but I'm getting to grips with it. Massive thank you to you guys who have been leaving, you know, little heads up stuff like the fact I should be calling what I've been calling defenseman, etc, etc. It is appreciated. I've been watching a lot of the NHL, trying to watch at least one game a night to kind of drill it into myself, a lot of the phrases, and hopefully pick up some stuff, but it's something that's going to come with practice. But anyway, that was a great win against the Flyers. The next game was against the Stars. We won 3-1 away from home. As you can see here, good result on the road. All 3 goals for us coming in the third period. We were 1-0 down going into it, and in the third we turned up big, and we turned up big again actually in this game, this one against the Panthers, a team who I actually looked to trade with earlier on in the season. I don't know if I even covered that, but a bit of trivia for you there. But you can see here Kessel just running the show really. He got 2 first assists and 2 goals to his name as we came back from behind to get a really convincing win. And then there's a few more games to tell you about, just to be real quick. We beat the Lightning 3-2, good result there. We then lost to Boston, which was a shame, against the Bruins, who are going really strong in their division. They got an early goal through a power play, and we just kind of got shut out by them, really. They outplayed us on the rink. There's not a lot more to be said. 2 more games, 2 wins. 2 good wins as well. First one here was away against Wild, and as you can see here, Kessel getting on the score sheet. Kadri and Fowler as well. Fowler, who of course we brought in, he's been good for us when he's played. I mean, 13 assists and 2 goals in 26 for a defenseman isn't terrible, but the injuries are a concern for me because he had another injury. He was actually out with a hip flexor strain. Of course, he missed a few games last time out with a cuff strain, so I'm hoping that that's not going to be an ongoing issue because, well, my scouts certainly haven't picked up the fact that he's injury prone, so that's something to keep an eye on. But anyway, the last result was against the Jets, 4-2 win, and as I mentioned today, we are going to be taking on the Capitals in a huge game for us. So 41 games in, looking at it, things are going quite well. We have around 4 months until the end of the regular season, of course. Looking at team stats, as I've already shown this, we are kind of the 3rd best informed team in the league. Looking at player stats, well, Kessel is just dominating the league. He's been ridiculous for us. He's got 34 goals, 35 assists in 41 games played. In terms of points, he's on 69 points from 41 games, which is just absolutely unreal. Especially to say we're only halfway through the season. He could get to 70 goals, which would just be mind-blowing. We've also got JVR here, Riemsdyk, who's 4th in terms of total points in the league. And really, those 2 guys have single-handedly been carrying us through. I guess Riemsdyk perhaps gets caught a little bit in the shadow of Kessel because of Kessel's work, but his work certainly doesn't go unnoticed. An average rating of 8.08 is really, really impressive. And Bozak as well, despite his injury, he's still doing fairly well. You can see here 16 goals, 29 assists and 45 points in 35 is pretty impressive for him. If we look at our roster as a whole and then just go to selection, so you guys can see a bit about the team. So in terms of average ratings, no surprise to see the front 3, but as you can see here, Bernier in goal has been doing pretty well. Average rating is 7.73 for him in 41 games played. We've also got Cam Fowler, who's only played 26 of our 41 NHL games so far because of the injuries. But despite that, he's done well when he has been fit. And also Richard Panik doing a job for us. The 23-year-old, he's got some potential, the Slovakian. We're going to stick with him. He apparently has 3rd line potential, but he's doing a job for us on the 3rd line. In terms of just in terms of recent form, you can see here that Riemsdyk and Bernier have really stepped things up. But also Robidas, who is a really old player who's done some work for us. I don't know if he's going to be retiring anytime soon. I guess he probably will be. But he's been a good player for us. He's kind of stepped up to the mark where need be. So anyway, that's a little bit about what's been going on, I guess, at the team during this time. We actually need to sort out our roster a little bit because I did elect to bring one of the guys who was on the injury reserve list, Horton, back into the side. So I guess to sort that out, we're going to drop Cozen into the Marlies, I think. So yeah, we'll do that. He's an okay player, Cozen, but he's only on our third line because we have got Fratin, who plays ahead of him, as well as Panic. I mean, Fratin's done okay for us. I'm probably going to play Horton in our third line today, I think. So we'll do that now. I need to make sure he's actually in the roster kind of selected squad though. But it's going to be good to have him back with us because he's not really had a chance yet to show me what he's made of. A lot of you guys have said about the fact he's been out. I'm hoping that he's going to come and just have a massive impact on us immediately. So, yeah, Nathan Horton, maybe make your mark today, sir, because this is going to be a big game for us. We need your services. The Capitals going very strong. If they win this, they'd leapfrog us in the conference. I mean, looking at it, we're on 55 points now, and there is a little bit of a cushion emerging onto the Islanders, who are kind of one of the teams really hunting down a playoff spot. The only other team really worth noting is the Panthers, who have played one game less than us, but are 11 points behind. But all in all, if we can just continue going the way we're going, focus on our own game, there's no reason why we can't find ourselves in the playoff at the end of the year. We're scoring a lot of goals. I don't really expect perhaps our front three to continue in the form they're in. Riemsdyk and Kessel particularly just been very, very strong for us, and it's going to be hard for them to keep it up. But if we can get half the performance out of them, if a few players can step up, if Horton comes back from injury, I'm very kind of much looking forward to what could be on the horizon. But anyway, looking at it, let's get into today's game. It's going to be a big one for us. As I mentioned, we are taking on the Capitals. We beat them pretty convincingly last time out, 7-4. So there's perhaps an air of expectation that we can do the same here. Not going to be easy for us, but we'll see how we get on. We are at home for this game, which is kind of nice, but yeah, it's not going to be easy, but we've been in some fine form. I'm not even sure if we've lost a live com yet in this series. Maybe this is the one where we're now going to lose it, but we are currently 1 goal to the good. Or, sorry, 1 goal down already, which is not great. Wake up, Jack. Pay attention. And we win possession. Now, that is a nice tackle. Now, can we have a goal? Yes, we can. Kessel lights the lamp. Another goal for him. He is really, he's lighting up the league. He's a very good player. I don't really know where he stacks in the NHL. I think 1 or 2 comments said when I started the series that he's kind of a top 20 player in the league. He's been performing great for us there. And that's another goal by Komarov this time to really overturn that deficit that we let in early. Nylander as well getting a second assist there, which is good to see the youngster contributing to that goal. But yeah, we'll see how we get on here. It's going to be a face-off in our zone. Could really do with winning this. And we'll see if we can get it. Nylander, the man, to try and take on Kuznetsov, I guess. And we lose it, and they're going to come away with the ball. And wow, okay, that is a very good goal there by Kuznetsov for them to make it 2-2. Although there could be more action here as they're on the attack again. And well, the ball comes across, or the puck comes across, and Beagle that time popping it home for them to make it 3-2. And this has been an action-packed first period to the game. And unfortunately for us, at the end of the first, we are going to be a goal down. Looking at the stats, both teams having a decent amount of shots. We've had 15. They've had 15. It's been 50-50 board plays. They're winning a few more face-offs. They're winning a few more passes. They're probably just ahead the Capitals, but at the same time, we are certainly not kind of drastically behind here, and we can get back into this. We have got the puck here in possession, and that is nicely worked. And Nylander scores for us to make it 3-3, doing a job again for us. This time he's playing centre. I did mention I'm training him out to play on the right wing. It's a position he's competent with. I'm kind of thinking that with the draft coming up and having looked at the prospects, a lot of them are decent centres, and because of Nylander's ability to potentially play on the right, it makes use to try and maximise that. And given the fact I'll probably end up drafting a centre with some real potential, adapting Nylander's game at a young age is probably beneficial to me. But anyway, looking at it here, 4-3 up going into the kind of third. I tell you what, we're going to put the highlights on extended for extra suffering here. It's going to be tense. It's a big game, this one. We want the win, and well, so are the Capitals, really. We are at home, though, so you'd like to see us make the most of that if possible. Although, is that going to be a face-off? It is going to be a face-off. Was that for high sticking by Beagle? So we are on a power play here for 4 minutes. We need to make more of these power plays. Like, we have a below 15% kind of, I guess, conversion ratio, or conversion percentage would be the way to look at it. I've still not made any tactical changes yet to it, but it's certainly something that's weighing on my mind. Although we are on the attack here, and, oh, well, we hit the post. And we miss again. I have a feeling, actually, now the more I think about it, that on power plays, I might not even have shooting on barrage. And that might just be the difference. That might be something I just need to put on. Because that is the case with all our regular tactics. I think the reason I didn't put it on barrage was because I was worried that kind of being less selective with our shots might not make us make the most of the man advantage. But at least right now we are going fairly strong. Although we give away the puck there. The Capital's through. But I'll tell you what, Bernier comes to the rescue. Now we're on the attack, and wow, that was a chance for Kessel. Really was. He probably should do better with that, although we're on the attack again here. Can we make more of it? Puck in the centre, and it is there. Sill scores. Fowler with the second assist, which was nice, and I think it was also Frattin getting a second assist. So that is good to see from our fourth line. Them getting on the score sheet. Not expected, really, and we now go 5-3 up. We extend that gap, and with 3 minutes left, we're performing pretty well. Kadri, please win the face-off here. We can't win it, although, well, I was about to say they give away the puck, but they haven't. And in the end, that chance amounts to nothing. Oh, go on, my son. The Capitals on the attack. A goal now would suddenly make things really nervy for us. It would offer perhaps the Capitals a way back into this game, although we're on the attack ourselves here, but... well, we can't make much of it, although I guess that's Hovicin is going to be put in the penalty box for holding. So we now have a power play that we're on. We're 2 goals ahead with a minute left. That should be game over, really, unless something goes drastically wrong for us. And all in all, this has been another really good performance. Again, defensively, we're not shining. It seems to be a bit of a trait of mine, I guess, in management games, that I like to just go attack and kind of full out power and kind of overwhelm, I guess, the opposition. But it's working for us here. Despite conceding 3, we've scored 5 goals of our own. Good to see some of the younger players as well that I'm bedding into the team doing well. I don't know how much of an impact that... sorry, I'm trying to remember his name now. The guy who's come back from injury. What's your name, sir? Horton's had it. Doesn't look like he's got on anything really, but I'm not even mad. And we did win the game there, apparently, while we were off screen. We already knew we'd win it, but 5-3 in the end. A really good home win against the Capitals. And that's impressive. And I now have a scout report as well on Horton. So if we look at it, potential power forward second line talent. So we'll probably look to promote him into the side a little bit more and get him up the pecking order as he gets back kind of comfortable on the ice. But all in all, really impressive by us. We're in third now. We've extended that gap over the Capitals, although it's kind of insignificant unless we both drop into 7th and 8th. But nevertheless, good to get another win and kind of keep our really good form going, I guess. So, yeah, that's going to wrap things up from me, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this series so far. Hopefully I'll see you guys on the next one. If you've got any feedback for me, leave it down below. If you've got any answers to questions I might have asked or stupid things I said that you want to correct me on, feel free to leave it down below. It is really appreciated. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.